All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you live. We want to say thanks to all of you for joining us on this beautiful morning in Minneapolis, Minnesota here. And with me today in the studio are some members of the Liberian Nurses Association. So this is a group that was founded like 2 years ago. I know they will give more details on that. And they are here to talk to us about the purpose, their accomplishment, their vision, and many more things about this association. So many have wondered, like, most of the Liberian associations, whenever they are founded, they will do something and then at the end of the day everything will just collapse, but they have been very different. So they want to talk to us about what made them so unique and what are some of the expectations. What we will do first, we want to talk to them, they will introduce themselves, and after that we can get started. So let us start with Trokon. So talk to us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Trokon Gore. I am RNBSN, MAC certified work as a nurse for the last 12 years.
Oh, wow.
I'm currently working with North Shore as a reimbursement clinical director.
Okay, that's good. And do we have positions? Are you occupying any position right now? Or?
I'm currently the Interim Public Relations Officer for Libna.
Okay, perfect. Yep. And
Thank you. I'm Sampson. I'm the founder of the Liberian Nurses Association, along with my brother to the left, Mark Yeman. I have a master's degree in nursing. I've served as director of nursing at various facilities, done managed care as well, done a little teaching with Rasmussen College, and is currently serving as executive clinical director at one of the Ecumen communities out in Brooklyn Center.
okay, that's good.
Yeah, my name is Vicky Briggs. I'm a registered nurse, family practice nurse practitioner, and I have 15 years of nursing experience, acute care, long-term care, and like the whole package. And currently, I'm getting my credentialings for my nurse practitioner and will be starting a job at a community clinic pretty soon, Access in Minneapolis.
Okay,
And I'm a member of LIPNA.
perfect. So, Ishmael.
Well, thank you, Mr. Donzo. I think my name is Ishmael. I'm one of the members of Libna, and I currently serving as the chairman for our planning committee for our upcoming program. I think I also want to use this opportunity to acknowledge some of our members. Libna is just not comprised of people who have master's degree and BSNs and all that. Our membership goes as far down to LPNs and stuff. So I think I want to begin in my introduction by acknowledging those folks first, because they are the backbone of Libna. They pay their money and dues. So I just want to use the introductory part of my part to say thank you for all the things you've been doing to keep us going, and we're grateful. My background is really in long-term care and acute care, and basically I also teach as well. So.
Okay. All right.
My name is Mark Nima III. I am a public health nurse, and I have extensive long-term care experience. I also work in home care. And my role with Libna, I am one of the supporting members with our founder, Samuel Sampson. And currently I serve as a member on the planning committee. And within the community, I currently work at the Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs as one of the clinical nurse managers. And we are working as a team. Like Ishmael rightly said, we are trying to be inclusive with all our members, from the practical nurses, the registered nurses, and the advanced practice nurses. So that's what we're going.
All right. So you just heard from them, and that's really good to get to know all of them. And today, this is a group that knows almost everything about anything concerning Libna. So I'm not going to be specific when I start asking questions. The only time I want to be very specific in asking someone is I want to know about the forming and the foundation of Libna. So that's going to go to you as the founder.
Thank you.
Talk to us about Libna a little bit.
So that's a good question, because I know people want to know, how did this group come about?
Yeah.
What were some of the ideas folks had to bring nurses together? So back in 2014, Brother Mark Yema and I actually used to help check people's blood pressure at church.
Yeah.
And so we did that for a series of months because we felt we wanted to give back to the elderly who were in our church. So after church one day, I pulled him aside and I said, we have a lot of nurses here in the Minneapolis and St. Paul area. Why not, bring those nurses together to see how we can expand what we're doing, reach out into our various communities, and see how best we can help our folks. And so that's how Libna was born. Again, we had the business registered back in 2014 with the Secretary of State's office. We've contacted the IRS, we obtained our EIN number, we scheduled meetings, and we're able to get a lot of folks on board. But then sooner after that, we started scheduling ongoing meetings, and a lot of folks didn't share our vision and share our ideas at the time. And so we ended up continuing our monthly meetings. We were able to do a couple other things, but the attendance wasn't, large compared to what we anticipated. And so we ended up tabering that for a while. And then just recently in 2018, about 5-6 months ago, we were able to connect with other folks and felt maybe we needed to revisit the topic. And it has been a blast ever since. We've accomplished a lot up to this point.
All right, Mark, as a co-founder, I want you to talk to me about what makes you guys so unique. Like he said, when it all started, the attendance was not that large, but being so persistent up to where we are today, how did you guys continue to keep this up to this moment?
Well, thank you for your question. What happened, I believe in collaboration within the community. Like my brother Samuel just said, we initiated this thing with the idea from the church where we said we do have screening for our members. And that picked up real good, and we thought that we could expand that. When he brought that idea, let's for the Nurses Association, bringing our nurses, because we know our population is great in the country here, especially based in Minnesota, I said we should, it was an idea that I supported strongly. And it didn't pick up the way, like Sam said from the beginning, and but we kept it going, we kept the website flowing and let people go. It wasn't as effective as we anticipated. But what happened when I talk about collaboration, we blended in with the organization of the Liberians in Minnesota. And our staunch member, Arthur Beer, he's one of the public health nurses too. And when we merged with the organization of Liberians in Minnesota, the Liberians, we have our nurses who met the meeting and we met at the site. And that just picked up because that group got more members, Liberian members, inclusive of nurses too. And the collaboration came together and we pick up from there. And I think, and with the social media now too, it also helped us with WhatsApp, social media, Facebook. At the time we started, we had access to none of those social media outlets. So for there, I see that's a strong support for our organization going where it is right now.
Okay, that's really good. And Trocon, I want you to talk to me about the objective of this group. So what are we planning on doing, and what is this group meant for?
There are several objectives that Libna has to reach, but one of the most important one is giving back to the community. As you all know, in order for us to give back to the community, each and every individual that sits at this table and each and every member that is a part of Libna is very much successful in his or her own right. But when we get together, there's strength in numbers. When we get together and come together with the idea, because Libna is the idea. When we buy into the idea, buy into the vision, we are able to move the idea and the vision forward. And just like Sam said, when having a vision is about people buying into your vision. And so over the period of time, they've been able to, through social media, have people buy into the vision. And that's the reason why you see people, the panel sitting here and those who are at home. And so by and large, at the end of the day, giving back to the community is one of the sole objectives I would like to underscore. Libna would like to give back to the community. our services, our volunteering effort. That's what we're looking for.
Okay. Vicky, first of all, are you the only female?
I know. I'm representing all the females.
Okay, that's really good. So Trocon brought up something. He said giving back to the community. Very important. But what are some of the ways that we will give back to the community? What are some of the things that you guys will do?
Well, some of the things that we will do, and I could give an example about July 26th.
Okay.
We had a team of healthcare providers, we, the Liberian Nurses Association, we were the first aid responders for the Independence Day festivities that went on in the community, and it was conducted from Wednesday to Saturday, and we had a setup that we did blood pressure, we did patient teaching on diabetes, and we did like knowing your numbers, your blood pressure number, your diabetes number, your cholesterol. And a lot of people in the community, especially the older people, they go to hospitals, the doctors give them these medications, and they are not educated to an extent to know the side effects. How do I take it? What kind of food I eat? So we educated our older folks and other younger folks in the community that do not know their numbers. Like for an example, we had a person in the community who, as young as I am, like every one of us on this table. So we encouraged her and convinced her to do her blood pressure. She was like, oh, I'm okay, I'm fine. But when we did a blood pressure, if it was an acute setting or in a clinic, we have called 911 to take her to the hospital. So those were the kind of things that we did during that time and still want to do as a group, as a professional group, nurses, advanced practice practitioners. We even have some doctors among us. So we are planning going forward to serve our community, give back to them the knowledge that we have obtained in this great country, United States, and to also give back our skills, like going into the community, teaching, doing medication teaching, the kind of food we eat. For example, if you are diabetic and you eat a lot of fufu, your calories will go high, carbohydrate, and then it will go, your numbers will not be in the range that's required. So those are some of the things that we have planned to teach people in the community about healthcare screening, give back during flu season, maybe open flu clinics to do our own flu shots for those that are unable to make it to the clinic, those that don't have insurance. So those are the kind of things that we are planning as a group to give back what we have learned to make sure the community is healthy going forward.
That's good. I think I need to slow down with eating fufu, right? So, let's go to Ishmael here. I have a couple of questions for you, and one of them will be, I want to know first, who joins Libna? Because Libna, like the membership, is it just limited to certain people? Or how do people get involved too, though, if they want to be members?
I think the first step is you have to be a nurse to be part of Libna. The second step is you have to be either a nursing student to be part of Libna. I think those are the basis of being a member of Libna. Libna members comprise of LPNs, RNs, could be 2-year or 4-year RNs, as well as those with advanced practice nurses. It includes those that are in the teaching fields as well. So we do have a broad spectrum of providers in Libna, and I think that's what makes Libna unique as an organization.
Yeah, and that's what I want to talk about because Libna being unique, because when you talk to people like, oh, everybody's welcome, we can take anyone as long as you're a nurse, you're Liberian, and all of that. Many people will be like, we know when Liberian people start something, they never end it. So how can you convince them, though?
I always thank Sam for the privilege and stuff, but I think what makes us unique, think about it, we're a professional organization. That's the first thing. That means in our profession, how we practice, how we interact with people. There's certain things, for instance, I cannot do. I cannot just look at someone and insult them. So that already exists for us. And on top of that, Libna has its own bylaws and things that we have to follow. But I think what even makes us more unique is the fact that we are the only Liberian professional organization in the state. We're not competing with any Liberian organization. We're saying we're partnering with you to make our community better. And I think we all have a role to play. I think the idea of Libna is great and is fundamentally based on collaboration, as Michael suggested. And you cannot function as an organization if you don't collaborate. So I think that's what makes us unique. We're not competing. We don't have competition with other Liberian organizations where you hear people fighting for certain things. No, we're saying we want to partner with the main Liberian organization, want to partner with any Liberian organization, as a matter of fact, that exists. Once you can get the message across, the idea of giving back in a way that is unique, whether it's checking blood pressure, giving flu shot, whether it's actually setting up a clinic to do different things that will keep our community healthy. As you know, our community, there's a big gap in our community when it comes to healthcare. And what we want to do is to help close that gap. One person at a time, one community at a time, until we reach our goal. And we may not do that completely, but we do that in concert with other organizations. That's what we hope to achieve.
Okay, that's good. And let's talk about the planning and other things here. So I'm going to Sam this time. Talk to us about the launching of this program.
That's a great question. So we were able to put a committee together because we felt we needed to let the public know who Libna is. So we had a planning committee set up and said, let's go ahead and select a date to launch the organization. So we selected October 20th. It's a Saturday, and it will be the official launching of the Liberian Nurses Association in Minnesota. The program is slated to take place at the Minneapolis Marriott. We have a guest speaker in Mary T, who have graciously accepted our invitation to serve as guest speaker, and a launching officer in Dr. Downs, who will also be available. Just to add to that, we've reached out to several sponsors to come and support us because we have lots of other things that we want to accomplish. I know, like several members of the panel said, we want to be able to reach out to see how best we can give back to our community. If it means providing education on maybe self-breast screening or prostate checks, and just other areas. In our culture, especially for males, we feel it's a taboo to go ahead and get screened because it isn't what we're accustomed to. So we want to be able to change that mindset of people to say, this is a broader society now. It's okay to get checked to see what's going on with you, so that once that condition is in an acute stage, it can be remedied compared to you don't know what's going on. The condition now has gotten chronic, and by the time you go in to seek medical intervention, it's too late. Just even beyond that, we were even thinking about we can start reaching out to our community and helping, but then extend that back to Liberia, where we are all from, because we know the healthcare system in Liberia is in dire need of education, advocacy, teaching. The list goes on and on and on.
Yeah, especially that extension is something that I was going to talk about next. Extending the program to Liberia and other things. Have you guys already started looking into that to see who you will be in contact with and how things will be on the ground? Yeah.
Is that for me?
Yeah, that's for Mark. Yeah.
So yes, Liberian Nurses Association, we intend to extend beyond the borders of Minnesota, United States, into Liberia. And what we are anticipating is to look at the what's already on the ground, because what we found out that they do have a Liberian Nurses Association within Liberia, but we want to direct our focus with the public sector. So like the public hospital, JFK Hospital, and the nursing institution, the oldest nursing institution within Liberia, they call TNIMA. Those are organizations we want to reach out to and see how best we can liaise with them. And one of our planning members did suggest that we invite the current Minister of Health within from Liberia to join us for our launching program. That would be a starting point for us to have the current Minister of Health who would get the idea, get to know the goals, the cause of the purpose of Libna, and what we intend to do in reaching out in Liberia. But there's a lot of stuff we can do from here and beyond up in Liberia. We have nurses in Liberia, complete the nursing school, but not fully integrating the skills. And fortunately for some of them, they migrate to the United States, and once they get here, they have no means of how to get started into the system. We can work through with them. They have the foreign nurses program that integrate and allow them to prepare themselves and sit for the nursing board exam we call NCLEX. So all those things we anticipating. Then what we can do for the local within Liberia, the clinics. We have other nursing organization, non-profit organization within Liberia that we are working with, and there is a program that launched, the African Nursing Program, they're all trying to extend to. So we have collaboration with other things that we can put in place that will make Libna successful on the ground within Liberia.
Yeah, but concerning the suggestion though to invite the current Minister of Health, have you guys considered that?
Yes, we have. And
did you contact him
our
yet?
committee chairman to got the information, and we have we're in the process of putting letters together, and that's something we have considered. But we need to know the process because it goes through the immigration process and how fast we can get that done, and the response from the Liberian government and the cost involved and how we put everything. But that's something we have considered and is in process.
Okay. And yeah, I know the logo says something about Minnesota, but I'll still ask that question because it says Liberian Nurses Association. So somebody's gonna ask a question like, I am not in Minnesota. I'm in New York, I'm in New Jersey, I'm in Pennsylvania. Can I be part of this group?
Yes, to ask that, I think the president, our executive director, can address that. When we came up with the idea, original idea about Libna, we wanted to, because of the population in Minnesota, we wanted to make our Minnesota-based the headquarters for other Liberian Nurses Organization within the United States. And we first extended to the Dallas. We found the Dallas Nursing Association, Dallas Fort Worth. They have an organization that we want to charter in. And when we revamped this organization, we came up with that and said, let's solidify our membership here first. Let's make Libna strong. Then if this organization should expand, then we can incorporate. But there are other Liberian organizations within United States. And so we say, okay, let us just say Liberian Nurses Association, Minnesota, just to distinguish us until we get to where we feel comfortable and talk about corporate status or headquarters status. Yep.
Okay. Anybody wants to add something to that? Or?
I think Libna is kind of evolving at a pace that even Sam, who actually started, is struggling to catch it because you know, things are moving pretty fast at a speed, at a really fast pace. And I think when you have things going like that locally, it's good to get hold of that first. Think about it, we're having a launch on the 20th of October. We have a lot of engagement coming up. Sam mentioned the full shot content coming. These are things that we want to focus on. I think once we grasp hold of that, and I think once we solidify our partnership, because in the end we talk about collaboration, we need to have solid partners, and then beyond that we can begin to expand. But I think, as Mark said, it makes sense. There are other Liberian Nurses Associations out there that we can certainly liaise with to form more of a federal partnership with. And I think that is something eventually that Sam, who's the current executive director, and members of the executive team will have to decide at some point. But I think today our focus is really on the program coming out in October 20th. So if anyone is really watching us, we really want them to come. We invite them to come to it, to really support us on the 20th at Marriott Hotel. I know Sam said Marriott Hotel Minneapolis, but it's actually located right in Brooklyn Park.
Oh, the one on Bourne?
Bourne
Okay.
Avenue.
Yeah.
So just want to be very clear about that. I think it's very important for the community to know that
And what's
we
the
exist.
time though? Have we set a time?
It starts
yet?
from 5 p.m. and it ends at midnight.
Okay.
But I think what I really am stressing today is the community support, because the truth is we're giving back. Well, you can give back with us if you support us.
I'm talking about the community
right.
support though. I
Right.
received a text from OLM. Maybe I did not get it clearly,
Right.
but you know, I've always spoken about that. So it's about the mayor from Montana, Wilmore Collins.
Right.
He's coming here, and I saw something like, tickets 35 and then 60. People going to see their own brother and they have to pay to go and see that. So do we have to pay too to go and give back over there to support you guys, or how is it going to be like?
Yes, you do have to give back. Our tickets are $75 per ticket per person. For our members are paying higher money. Our members are paying $100 per ticket.
Yeah.
We have businesses who are paying from anywhere from $1,000 up to $2,500, and we actually have some businesses commit to that. We have individual patrons, so you can.
Now the boss will get me one.
Our minimum individual patron level is $250. You can afford that, right?
Yeah.
So I think when I say the community is supporting us, don't see it as you coming to pay money to Libna. The money you give to Libna goes directly to the community. It doesn't go into Sam's pocket. It doesn't go into Trocom pocket, Vicky, none. Mark, it goes directly to the community because that money is used for the operation of the work we're going to be doing. Sam don't get paid. He spends a lot of time doing the Trocom, does the same thing. And all of us literally do the same thing. So I think we hope that those members that are going to come from the community to support us, they can see as supporting us. And of course, Libna is a non-profit organization, so there are some benefits to doing it as well.
Okay, that's great. And women are very good when it comes to reaching out to people. You guys are the ones that we always depend on. So I'm quite sure Vicky is the one reaching out to a lot of people today. So how far are we with that though? Are you still reaching out to more females, trying to make them to come on board?
Yes, we are still reaching out to more females as well as males. And then yesterday we had a team set up to meet churches. Okay. So the team met with the Liberian Minister Association in Brooklyn Park on Unity Avenue to spread the message to the community, because a lot of people don't know about us. Yes, of course, we participated in the July 26 programs, but a lot of folks didn't come to that program. So by going to the churches, spreading the messages to the females as well as males, like the entire community as a whole, I think the message is going across, and that is one of the reasons why we are here today, for the media to help us to spread our message on a broader spectrum.
Yep. And Trocom,
brother, just let me interject with what Vicky said. If we meet, we have our bi-weekly meetings, and our next meeting is tomorrow. Our general meeting is part of the launching program. But what happened when we meet? We are in the minority. We have more females in the organization. It's just that scheduling conflicts got us here, and you see more guys here. But the ladies dominate this room. So that's the correct.
It's the reverse. It's the reverse in this room, right?
Maybe today is a takeover for men. Yes. So we don't want them to overshadow us today. Yeah. So Trocom, let's talk about reaching out to you people. Vicky spoke about how you guys are reaching out to other people, but people who want to get in touch with you guys, how can we contact you people?
Well, right now we're all over the place, social media, WhatsApp, Facebook. We have our website, libna.org. Yeah. We're on Twitter, Instagram, you name it. And so if you want to reach out to us, you go on Facebook, you go on any one of these social media outlet, and you'll be able to get to us. Those are the ways of reaching out, because we try to be everywhere and anywhere, especially in this day and age. You need to make yourself very accessible so people can reach you. You'll see the number there to call. You can use those numbers to reach out to us. You can inbox us. You can text us, and promptly you will definitely the public will get a response.
And you look so unique amongst us today, though, because you got a T-shirt of Libna.
Right.
We don't have it. So how can I get one of that, or how does one get?
Yours is $50. I have it for you. You know what it's called? It's called giving back. That's the word.
It is.
You're gonna be giving back.
You can get a T-shirt. You can get a T-shirt. If you go on Facebook, if you go to any of the social media outlet, you'll be able to inbox us and request. We'll be able to get a T-shirt for you. The T-shirt is $25 if I'm not.
Yeah, but for him it's $50.
I understand, right?
He's giving back.
If you're out there, watching our
T-shirt,
it's a $25 donation, and we encourage, whether you're a Libna member or not, whether you're a nurse, so long as you live in a community, even if you are not Liberian, if you are passionate about giving back to a community by and large, You know, this is something that we are all very passionate about, outreach. And so if you're out there and you're thinking about wanting to make a donation, consider Libna an organization that's very viable, so that you can be able to, you know, return an investment into, and then we really encourage that a great deal.
All right, that's good.
And brother, talking about viability of the organization, we need to let the public know we initiated our 501c3 status. And that shows that whatever donation you give to Libna, you sure is being managed well and is on IRS, Internal Revenue Scrutiny. So I show that whatever you give to us, it's in good hands, and we're going to be managing that. So people get nervous about Liberian organizations because of the history that, I'm giving, they just started an organization to generate funds. No, we have reputable people within this organization that manage our funds. And whatever you give, you're going to have their tax deductible report at the end of the year for whatever you do. So come and support us.
And I think I wanted to interject real quick. I think to me the key question is, you know, at the end of the year, everybody files taxes. And I think for those who make more money, it's legal for you to divert some of your funds to a non-profit organization and use that to claim your taxes. I think people can do that on Libna because that money goes directly back.
That's
the
right.
good thing about this is you can donate to us. You can tell us exactly how you want to use that money within the framework of Libna mission. We can do that. The last thing I wanted to say, though, I know about the female situation. I wanted to also use this opportunity because we have a lot of females. As a matter of fact, majority of our members are female. Just to be very clear about that. But I think it will be very unfair for us to leave from here as a group without actually mentioning some of our members behind the scene who's actually made this day possible for us, whether it is our Sister Crystal, Yeba, or Sister Rachel and Sidia, who actually has been very strong in terms of collecting our dues and all that, what is using Cash App. By the way, Libna is on Cash App too, if you didn't know that. So if you purchase a t-shirt, you can just send that directly to us.
So I think Libna is really ready, you know.
These are, I'm saying that because these are great females.
Yeah.
Geneva as well, these are great females. I've been nurse for the last 15 years, just like Vicky has. And all my life, I've been led by women in terms of leadership. And I've seen this kind of leadership from our females in this group. You have to literally raise them, you know. So I just want to acknowledge that.
I just want to actually make something very clear.
Yeah.
What the point that Ishmael brought up. I know he was going local, coming home for the cultural, his perspective by saying Sister Rachel and all. I would like you to actually call these people full name and give some credentials to them,
Dr. Crystal
so that
Bryan.
the public would know,
Yeah, definitely.
who they are.
Dr. Crystal Bryan.
And it's like you guys were reading my mind because
Right.
my next question to Sam was going to be to talk to me about the leadership, the structure of the leadership.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
Just want to know some of the members too. Yeah.
Thank you. So what we've done so far, because we are still in that early stage, we initially felt let's have an interim executive director, which is me, and then after our launching, based on our bylaws and constitution, we can then proceed with just having key officers in place. We establish a board. So on the board we have Dr. Crystal Bryan, Freeman as one of the board members. We have Ishmael Komora as one of the board members. We also have Mark Yema as a board member. We have Jeremiah Poja also on the board. We have Yeba Monson Dumba as one of the board members. Atobia is also on that board. And then we thought that, well, let's just shift gear from just the board to maybe some interim officers. So that's where Vicky comes in. Vicky is also one of the interim officers. We have Sadia Boyu, who is also our chief financial officer. We have Rachel Sumo also, who plays a role between being on the board and being a key member as one of our officers. So we kind of divert her to the board. She's one of the board members. We have Vivian, who is our interim secretary, and a host of other folks. We've appointed committees as well because we felt our goal was to get as many folks as possible, just to be able to get everyone engaged and involved. One of our plans was to be as transparent as possible when it comes to, just seeking out talents, because we are all professionals. I'm sure anyone could be executive director of this organization because we are all professionals, like I said. And so anyone can step up and lead this organization and or represent this organization. We don't say, well, because you are a licensed practical nurse, so you don't have much to contribute, and because you have a master's degree, you have more to contribute. We validate every suggestion, and we treat everyone, or we will treat everyone the same, because we want to be inclusive, because we feel everyone have ideas. So those are the key positions we have so far. And I think after our launching, we're going to expand the leadership positions for this organization. We're going to set up committees, because like I alluded to initially, we want to be able to reach out into the community to be able to perform other functions. We want to be able to have a committee set up to focus on missions. We want to be able to do other things, and so looking at our key structure that we have in place, we will fill those positions and ensure that we have people from a cross-section, advanced practice nurses to LPNs to fill those roles.
Okay, that's really good to hear. And one thing that I want to request from you guys today is going to be something that I started with Ishmael some times ago, but then due to some family schedules and other things, I couldn't keep up with it at that time. But I want to renew it again and restart it, which will be, I have a page where we have about 17,000 followers, but 95% of them are Liberians. And I think this will be a great way for them to be hearing from you guys, time to time. So what I'm planning on doing is to organize a program, because here we can have, we have the big studio where we can have people seated to up to 100 persons, we have those seats for them. So if we can have some days, not all of you guys at once, but at least one person, a week to be coming in here, give some lectures to people about some health issues and other things. So I would like for us to schedule that. If we do the scheduling, if you guys have 10 persons, so then when you leave here today, it's gonna take you 10 weeks before you get back. So you have enough time to get yourself ready for the next lecture.
Well, before we commit to that, I just want to make sure you buy a T-shirt.
Well, I'm definitely gonna get the T-shirt. So that will be something I'm interested in.
I think you actually hit the nail on the head. It's one of the objectives of Libna, and so with just meeting you today and you actually just stepping up and wanting to partner with us. Remember, Mark said that it's one of the things. Our SaaS is based on our partnership and collaboration with every organization, individuals within the community, and just by you actually bringing that point, it actually meet us right at a crossroads where we can be able to do, put up weekly or monthly videos for teaching and other things, so I can assure you that when we get back, we'll be able to discuss, and we'll definitely, try to meet you at the right place to get that going.
That's really
I wanted to interject something Sam said. I think one thing Sam said is the LPNs and all that. I think when we talk about reaching out to the community, I think one thing about Libna also people need to understand, whether you're an LPN out there listening to us for this interview, we're pleading with you to join us. We're asking you to join us, especially if you're a Liberian and you're looking at career advancement. This is an opportunity. I know you're here today when we introduce ourselves, the same as a master's degree. This person has a master's degree, but in the end, what we really want to do is to uplift each one, right? Trukon talked about earlier on, Trukon talked about how we are succeeding individually, but collectively we're not succeeding. And one of the goals is for us to succeed collectively. But we cannot do that if we don't come together in a number that Mark referenced, so that we can begin to identify some of the issues we have to develop as a people, as Liberian and as nurses in the state, because we do have a stake in the state of Minnesota, and we are actually contributing. But our contribution has to be more meaningful when we can make an impact, and if our voice can be heard, only if we come together and decide that we're going to be at the table at equal wavelength with decisions making on the table. that means developing nurses in terms of leaders. I know Sam is a clinical director. I'm sure he'll be glad to mentor an LPN who's an LPN who's going to school, graduating to be an RN, and who wants to be in leadership. I probably do the same thing. I know he'll be willing to do the same thing. That's what this is about. It's lifting each other up one at a time. So just wanted to interject that.
Good point.
Thank you.
And I think some of you guys already spoke about the objectives, but I want us to talk about, because every group that is funded, like, there will always be objectives. You have the short-term and the long-term ones. And what are we planning on accomplishing, like, short-term, like maybe 3, 4, 5 months from now? Are there things that we want to accomplish?
And
Go ahead, sir.
so,
And everybody can talk about this one
Yeah.
if you will. To
That's
do
a
so.
great question. So we first need to assess the need of our communities to see what are those key pressing areas that we can tackle first. So one of the things we did, we established a committee because we know the flu season is coming, and so we've had Geneva and Woki reached out to Fairview, and Fairview has agreed to partner with us, and so we're going to be offering flu shots to seniors in our communities. So that's one thing. And so we are also looking at just reaching out to other organizations to see how we can provide even partnership and or education. I talk about prostate cancer being the #1 killer for males and breast cancer being the #1 killer for females. How can we provide education to say, let's go ahead and have that mammogram done at the required time, so that we are able to then, have those things diagnosed early. It could be in the acute stage, and then you might have a greater chance of survival compared to if we are not following up. So right after our launching, we will have series of committees established. We will then reassess to see what areas requires immediate attention and what other areas we can focus on. And I'm sure anyone can elaborate
Yeah,
as well.
definitely.
I think that's a key thing because, as a healthcare organization, one thing you always want to do, there's so many things out there that you want to do, right? And I think one thing that happened is that with all those things, if you're looking at Brooklyn Park, Crystal Bell is what I call it, what I call 610 Bell or the 252 Bell area, because that sort of brings all those places into a triangle. There's so many needs for our people, right? And that need for Libna to be able to meet that need, the first step is to assess, as Sam mentioned, right? But I think in the immediate term, to be more immediate, more precise with the question, right after the launching, we're looking forward to our launching. Right after that is the flu clinic. And the flu clinic, the hope is they run from October, November, December, and that's kind of headed by Geneva and Woki, who are actually spearheading that. And that is a great thing for us to reach our vulnerable population, and it's free, as a matter of fact. The hope is, and hopefully we can get Geneva and Woki to come and talk to you some more about this. But the hope actually is, it's free, it's the vulnerable population. It's not only limited to our Liberian population, also to our next door neighbors as well, because we live in this country, we live with Americans as well, right? Our kids interact with them, so it also affects them. We reach out to churches, mosques, wherever we can reach out to help our people, because we are about preventative stuff,
Exactly.
right? Treat yourself before you get to the level where it becomes spending, and I think that's where it gets really expensive when you get a chronic situation. So I think anybody else can throw light on that.
I think just to add to that, you talk about the short-term goal and our long-term goals. Our short-term goal right now is awareness. That's why we are launching Libna, to get the community awareness, know what services they have available, and the organization running. This is a professional organization, and we are proud of Libna. And like Ishmael rightly said, we are not competing with any other organization out there. But we want people to be aware of what we do and what are the services available to them. And Brooklyn Park is the epic center for Liberians activities. So when you talk about Liberians, everybody focuses on Brooklyn Park. But there are other Liberians who in need of these services living other part of the suburbs, other part of within Minnesota. And once they're aware of all these services and what we do to help them, and we bring wellness to our group. We have an outreach community, and when Vicky talked about the July 26th activities, we were out there, and Brooklyn Bar is not the only place that we should focus on this point, so we want to expand. So our launching program, we ask more people to come out there. And what happened when we talk about, I heard it talk out there about nurses saying that the Liberian Nurses Organization, maybe it's a registered nurses organization. No, we want to be inclusive, and we are asking the licensed practical nurses to really come out there, and they can spread the word too. Because we are hoping that all our members will have advanced practice degrees, and so we are not limiting anybody, but we want to be inclusive. If you are comfortable with where you are, that's okay. But LIBNA is not just for the registered nurses. We are encouraging all nursing students. So the awareness is our major part, and we want to reach out there in the community that people would know what we are doing. That's our short-term goal.
Okay.
Want to add something, Trogan?
Trogan, anything to add to that?
No, I just want to go back to the event that's coming up on October 20th.
Yeah.
It's going to be held at Marriott up here on Boone Avenue in near Brooklyn Park. It's going to be on 5:30 to midnight. Tickets are on sale. You can check Facebook, check all of the Facebook, Instagram, check our website. You see a number there, go there, call. The ticket starts from $75 to $100. If you're a registered nurse with LIBNA, the LIBNA members are paying $100. And we have organizations, and we are encouraging organization and sponsorship to come. We have packages for these organizations. We are a new organization coming. We are creating awareness. We want to do a lot of collaboration. For example, you met us today, you were impressed, you appear to be impressed with what we want to do in the community, and you are offering to partner with us somewhere down the line, which is very encouraging. If you're listening to this broadcast out there, you don't have to be a nurse. If you have a student, if you have a daughter or a son, that is a child, a husband, or wife, that is a nurse, we want you to pass this information to them. Go through social media. LIBNA is just not about advanced practice nurse. It's not about doctor. It's about student. We are trying to uplift our community and want to come together to be so that each in a unique way, each and every one of us will be able to give back to our community. So come on October 20th, 5:30. It's going to be a red carpet event. This is just not a sit down. It's going to be the program is going to be launched. It'll be a red carpet event. People will be arriving in their limousine, whatever car you have. You come there, get on the red carpet. You're going to get some nice, beautiful picture. Come in your best attire, and come and have a good fraternization of professional, people. If you're a family out there, if your child is a student, you can also come out there, buy a ticket, surprise that person. And so let's come out there, have some good time, and you'll meet some professionals. We talk about pathway. That's one of the goals of LIBNA, to help create career pathway, same for students. So that's what the event is going to be about on October 20th. We're encouraging out there for you to come out and join us on that day.
All right, that's really great. Vicky, anything to add to that?
Well, like everyone else has said, we are doing the launching. We are encouraging other nurses, nursing students, whoever is able to come to join the organization, because the motto and aim of the organization is giving back to the community. We cannot give back to the community if we are just a handful of people. So we need the entire community, professional nurses, LPNs, nursing students. Wherever you are, come and join LIBNA, so we will give our best back. I mean, we go to work, we take care of the Americans, we take care of other people. Now it's time for us to give back to our own self, our own community, to help ourselves here, and even Liberia as a whole. We can do better, because Liberians, we are a strong set of people. We have the inner strength. When we come together, we make difference and we have impact on people. So we are encouraging everyone to join. It's not a one-person thing. It's not like a clique that we are forming. It's not like you know me, I know you. It's for everybody. We are community, so we need to help ourselves.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and all right, quickly before we conclude.
I just want to clarify or add to what our brother just said.
Yeah.
Our tickets are on Eventbrite, and we will be having hard printed copies of tickets available to so people, because that's the thing, when people get confused where to get tickets and where to buy tickets, we'll have those tickets available. And we take credit cards if you want to purchase. We take cash out. We take all major credit cards, so people should be aware that we are ready.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this program, and it has been really, really wonderful interacting with these members of Libna today, from Brother Mark, Ishmael, Vicky, Sam, Trocon. All of those guys have done really, really great, and we appreciate you watching us today. Hopefully you can be with us next time too, not only to watch us, but to attend the program that's going to be happening on the 20th of October, right on Bone here. So do not miss that. Be part of that. Continue to support this group. Do whatever you can to make this group to be a better one. Once again, thanks, gentlemen. I appreciate your presence here. Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thanks for having
having
us.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you.